Good evening, YouTube. Good evening. Thank you to everybody already in the chat room, already waiting for me to live stream. I appreciate that. So thank you very much to everybody. Couple of players we're going to speak about. I just altered the title. We're going to speak about Perisic. We're going to speak about Ziyech. Ziyech, however you pronounce that guy's name. Let's start off with him. Arsenal obviously rate the guy. He has come out and said that he wants to join Arsenal as long as we want him. Now, let's be real. Why wouldn't we want him? Top class player. This is being reported by Sky Sports podcast. So how reliable it is, I'm not so sure. A guy, a journalist, a Dutch journalist called Marcel van der Kraan says, I know that the player would like to join the club that is Arsenal. They play good football and always have done. Thank you, VP. Cheers, my friend. Good afternoon to everybody. Now, listen, we've seen this guy in the Champions League this season, and he was absolutely superb. He's had a fantastic season this season with Ajax, but he is going to have the whole of Europe looking at him. Now, Real Madrid have gone down the route of going and buying Eden Hazard. That rules them out. Why would they buy him? They don't need him. They've just spent, what, 80, 90 million pounds on Eden Hazard. They've just signed somebody else as well. Just see that breaking a minute ago, a guy whose name I can't remember. I think he's Chinese guy. I may be wrong in that, but they've signed about 4 or 5 players already, Real Madrid. So the rebuild is massively underway. But the fact that they've signed Eden Hazard means that they are going to obviously not be looking at Ziyech. But all the other clubs in Europe, Barcelona, Arsenal, United, City, everybody is going to be looking at this guy. And the fact that he wants to join Arsenal is a boost for us, but it's whether we're going to go and buy him. You know, this guy's got a £26 million buyout clause. That's an absolute bargain. That's cheaper or on par with Ryan Fraser. Now, you know, he's obviously flavour of the year, flavour of the season. He's had a remarkable season. Absolutely smashed it in Champions League, like I said, with Ajax. He's had a great season in the Dutch league, but are Arsenal actually going to go and buy him? Ryan Fraser's coming out with talk that, you know, I'm happy at Bournemouth and this and that. And whilst I get that that's all generic PR stuff from the player, this guy would be an unbelievable person to sign for Arsenal. He would instantly just go straight into the first team. And that is a genuine threat. He's Japanese. Thank you, the political one. You know, I can't read that writing, man. I'm just saying. Yeah, sorry for my ignorance. But yeah, Ziyech wants to join Arsenal. Will this deal happen? I'm not so sure. I think that he'll end up at Barcelona personally, or PSG, somewhere like that. Because like I said, he is going to have every top club in Europe looking at him. Now, just switching on to Perisic. Arsenal are going to make an approach for Perisic, and I don't think we should be going anywhere near this guy. This guy is he's washed up. He's not the Perisic he was 3-4 years ago. His stats from this season, obviously, as we know, he's a left winger for Inter Milan this season. 45 games he took part in, and he scored 9 goals, 8 assists. Now, I'm sorry, that's in a league that's not all that. It's not a great league, let's be real. And what makes anyone think that a 30-year-old Ivan Perisic is going to come to the Premier League and automatically boost them stats? Them stats are on par with Alex Iwobi, and Alex Iwobi's doing it in a harder league. So I don't want this guy anywhere near Arsenal. I don't think we should be going and looking at him. I don't think he's worth 30 million quid for a start. I don't think he's that great a player. Like I said, I just read his stats out. That is in a league that, Juventus is the biggest game of the season. Other than that, they've got Napoli, Roma maybe. After that, you're talking about teams that are way, way below Premier League standards. So for me, I don't think we should be going anywhere near even Perisic. So Ziyech, definitely. Even Perisic, not for me. No chance in a million years. And I think for the sort of money and wages that guy is going to be after, it's not worth it. It's not worth going out and spending 30 million and 100 odd grand a week on that guy when, let's be real, we're going to have no sell-on fee for him because he's going to sign, a 3-year deal? 33 years old? Sorry, mate, not for me. Ziyech, on the other hand, all day long, go and put the money into him. He's cheaper for a start. Not only that, he's got a sell-on fee. So if he does come to the Premier League and rips this league up, and Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, whoever, PSG come in for him, you automatically get a bigger sell-on fee, and you'll make money on that deal. But if he comes in, does the business, and we keep him, we've got a genuine top draw player that we could keep for the next 4 or 5 years. So I think that's where we should be looking. I don't think that we should be looking at Perisic. Listen, that boat sailed back in January. That and Carrasco. Carrasco I spoke about yesterday. I don't think he wants to move to Arsenal. He's just using Arsenal as leverage to try and get to PSG or Bayern Munich. He don't want to come to us. Why would he? We're not in the Champions League. I get that obviously Perisic and Ziyech, it's the same scenario. We're not in Champions League. But, you know, a lot of these younger players see Arsenal as a club to go to because we play great football, or used to play great football. Not so much recently. We're shocking away from home, as everyone knows. But like I said, I don't think we should be going anywhere near Perisic. That guy can stay in Italy for as long as he wants, as far as I'm concerned. I don't think that is something that would help us going forward. It'd be a quick fix, but I don't even think it's a fix. I don't think that his output is good enough to warrant the money for the wages or the fee. When you could go and get a Ryan Fraser, you can get a Ziyech for cheaper money and cheaper wages. Let's be real, they both command less wages. So I think that for me, I don't want to go anywhere near him. And, you know, whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But I know that we were linked with him in January. That went on all of January transfer window. And yeah, it became quite boring in the end. That dried up afterwards, and now it's come back again. And now we're now going to make an approach, apparently. So we will see what happens with that. But in terms of Ziyech, that is somebody I would put the money into. That is somebody that's genuine quality, that's got years ahead of him. The guy's, what, mid-20s? He's going to be an absolutely fantastic player. And if he can make that step up into the Premier League, then that elevates his profile. But not only that, it elevates the money we can command if we want to sell him. So if he came in and had a great season next season, that guy would automatically be worth 50 million quid next summer. That doubles the money on what he's worth now in terms of his buyout clause. It also gives us £25 million profit, and we can then go and reinvest that into players that we need and continue the rebuild. Or we keep the player and we've got a genuine top draw player. If he then goes into the second season and slaps it again, you know, you're then talking about a £70 million footballer. So for me, £26 million for Ziyech, that's a no-brainer. Same with Ryan Fraser. Let's be real. Ryan Fraser, mid-20s, £25 million. I think he's fantastic. I think he's a very good player. And him and Ziyech, maybe go and sign both of them, shift one out to the right-hand side, stick one on the left-hand side, and then you could get rid of Alex Iwobi. You could sell him if you wanted to. Or you could play him in his actual natural position, or even as a number 8, which would save money elsewhere in the squad. But I don't know. I'm just sticking it out there. I don't think that even Perisic is the answer. Like I said, no sell-on fee if we buy him. He's gone past the prime of his career. Listen, 9 goals last season in 46 games in a dead league. Let's be real. It's not the greatest league in the world. But not for me. Definitely do not want that guy anywhere near the club. Ziyech and Fraser, all day long I'm open to that. So let me know what you guys think. Give me some comments. I'll answer some questions for 15 minutes or so. And happy Friday to everybody in the chat room. Thank you to over 300 people watching live as we speak right now. Put a like on the video. That gets the channel noticed. Not even 50 likes yet. So that's like quite embarrassing right now. So get them likes up and let's read some of your comments on Perisic and Ziyech. OZ says, Ziyech, Fraser, a CM and a defender would give me a massive hard on. Jesus Christ, bruv. Calm down. Did you watch the NBA finals last night? I don't watch NBA, mate. Don't watch it. Oh, God, I've got a stinking cold as well. I'm coming down with the flu, man. I'm telling you. Malcolm or Ziyech? We're actually linked with Malcolm as well, Kieran. So you could buy both, one on each side. And for about 50 odd million quid, 55 million pound, I think that'd be a great investment for the pair of them. Perisic is Mkhitaryan all over again, says Brian. Do you know what? I couldn't agree more with that, mate. It is a Mkhitaryan deal all over, coming or being linked with us way too late in his career. 3-4 years ago, all day long I would have took him. Maybe even a year ago. But the decline of the guy is just ridiculous. This season, he's been shocking. He's been shocking in the Serie A. So I bet we don't sign any of these players, says S.H. Epic. Do you know what, right? This is the funny thing about the transfers, right? I'm just going off of the reports and putting it out there to have a debate and have a chat about it. And listen, at the end of the day, we'll get linked with about 200,000 people and sign 2. And it'll probably be a kid we've not ever heard of from French League 2. But it's all about just debating these things and seeing what you guys think. At the end of the day, you guys make my channel. So without you, I wouldn't be sat here talking. Stephen, thank you for your donation. Love your content, Lee, and looking peng, my friend. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Happy Friday to everybody in the chat room. Hope you all have a great weekend. What is going on with Saliba, says Tashi Tenzing. To be honest with you, I think he's going to end up at Man United. I think that's where he's going to end up. What about Leon Bailey, not Rion Bailey, says Rishab. Do you know what? I think it's a bit too soon for him. I think he should stay where he is for now. I think he should stay where he is for another season or 2. Lewis says Ziyech would be perfect on the wing instead of Iwobi. See, the thing is, I quite like Iwobi. I know a lot of fans don't like him and they don't like the fact that he's not really got an end product, but listen, he's an academy kid. He's 23 years old, 22, 23 years old. This season coming is the biggest season of his life. If he don't cut it this season, he needs to go. Why would Ziyech come to Europa when he's ripped the Champions League, says Krish KR7. Excuse me. That's a good question. That is a very good question, and it's a fair question as well. And listen, I don't believe that Ziyech wants to come to Arsenal, but when you hear the reports saying that he likes the way we play and stuff like that, you can kind of understand it. But let's be honest, money talks and bullshit walks, right? And if Barcelona come in for him, and they're going to have to do something, let's be right here, yeah? Real Madrid have gone out and bought 4 or 5 players, including Eden Hazard. So, you know, they've bought some good players, man. They bought that guy from Frankfurt, the striker, whose name mistakes me right now. But they have brought some genuine quality this summer so far, and they ain't ramping, man. So Barca need to go and step up a level. Zach Harrop, glad your channel is growing as it should be. Big up. Thank you, mate. Thank you for your donation as well, my friend. Jovic, that's it. Jovic is the guy. They've gone and done 50 million quid on Jovic, right? And when I watched the highlights back of Chelsea against Frankfurt, he looked class, man. He looked really good. And the way Frankfurt played, they looked good, to be fair. They were popping the ball around left, right, and centre. So, you know, it was no surprise that he signed for them for 50 million quid. But they've gone and done Eden Hazard for 80-odd million pound, 90 million pounds. They've gone and signed this Japanese kid as well. They've bought a few players. So, you know, at the end of the day, Barcelona need to respond, and if they respond and they go in for Ziyech, let's be real, he ain't coming to Arsenal. But like I said, as for Perisic, not for me. Get him nowhere near this club. I do not want that guy anywhere near Arsenal right now. So, you know, 30 years old, he's not going to get any better, and he's on decent wages, and he'll want decent wages if he comes to Arsenal. So, not for me. There's better players out there that are younger, that would be on less wages, that have a better output, and that would hit the ground running better than a 30-year-old that ain't really got anything to prove. Listen, the guy's a multi-millionaire. What does he need to prove? Yeah, it'd be great, and he'll come in and have a little kickback, and you know, and he's living in London and blah blah blah, and he'll maybe have a run of 5 or 10 games where he plays great. But whoever it was that said about Mkhitaryan, Perisic is Mkhitaryan Mark II. Simple as that. Tierney and Ziyech would be good. I agree. A lot of Celtic fans that have reminded me Tierney is a one-club man, and that they're going for 10 in a row. That he don't want to leave. But listen, any Celtic fans in the chat, let me know. But for me, like I said, money talks and bullshit walks. So, you know, you put the right offer in for these players, you put the right wages on the table for these players, and these players will come. So, I don't know. Perisic is an old man, says Brandon. Jesus, I'm prehistoric then, bruv. Fraser's price has gone up to 40 million. I'm not so sure about that, Bo, but I don't know. He ain't worth 40 million quid. Vedham Rafford says Hamoso looks class. He is a very good player, mate. Very, very good player. And again, he's another one that would walk straight into our first team and instantly make us look better. So for me, that's an area where we should be looking. That's a guy that we should be looking at. And again, another one that could come in, hit the ground running. And under this project that it is, and it is a project right now, we're not going to go out there and do what Madrid had done and just go bang, 5 players. Yeah, 200 million quid or 150 million, whatever it is they've spent so far. We ain't going to do that. Oh, seriously, my nose won't stop running, man. I've got a proper stinking cold. It feels like I've gone 12 rounds with Tyson Fury or something, man. My whole body aches today. But we ain't going to go and do that 200 million pound in one transfer window. So we need to be going out there doing shrewd signings, buying players for around the 20 million, 25 million pound mark, hoping they come in and hit the ground running, and hopefully selling them on and rebuilding even better. So then in 2 or 3 years' time, we have then got the squad that is capable to go and compete for a title, like Liverpool have done this season. Listen, Liverpool have done fantastic. The last 3 or 4 seasons, they have put together a squad of players under Klopp that have all brought into his philosophy and his mindset. And they're now, 1 point away from being champions. And look at the point total, man. It's ridiculous. They won the Champions League. But again, you look at some of the players in that squad. Tissue box fund. I need it, man. I might do some Lemsip. Sod the Stella. It might be a Lemsip fund, bruv. Where is on this day? Do you know what? The views are dead on it, Ahmed. Yeah, dead. It's not worth the hours that I put into it to get no traction on it, to be honest with you, mate. So I'm going with what you guys like as a whole, as a majority, and the majority didn't rate it. So we're deaded it off. Why is Arsenal so quiet right now, says Chuck. I think that's down to the Adidas kit deal. I think the fact that the kit deal is starting on the 1st of July. I think that it'd just be bad PR if we went out there and put a player out there in a Puma kit when Adidas are coming in to play in 2 weeks' time. I just think it'd be stupid PR, poor marketing, and Adidas have probably got some sort of clause in a contract somewhere that says that if we sign any players, they have to wear the Adidas kit. So I think that's probably what it is. Matt, thanks for your donation, buddy. If we had lost to Rennes, would we have made top 4? No Ramsey injury and focus on EPL. Thanks for your content. Good question, man. See, the thing is, with the Europa League, obviously Emery is a specialist in the Europa League. He's won it 3 times. But we kind of gave up on the Premier League in the hope that we'd win the Europa League. And then we just flopped in the final. So maybe if we'd gone out, I think we could have got top 4, because obviously that would have been the priority. We should have got 3rd. Let's be real. How Chelsea finished 3rd in the table is just laughable, because they were probably the 6th best team in the league and they finished 3rd. So yeah, I think you probably got a good point there, mate. If we had got knocked out of the Europa, then yeah, we probably would have got top 4 and we would have been in Champions League. Rich Franklin says, everyone talking about Saliba like he's Sergio Ramos. Yeah, I've never seen him play and he's 18. Do you know what? Exactly, bruv. I've never seen the guy play. From what I gather from looking at videos of him, but like I've said before, Yaya Sonogo looked good in videos. So you never truly know how good a player is until they rock up in the league. But yeah, man, I don't think he's worth the money. I think there's bigger and better players out there that are more ready, that are more what we need, rather than an untested kid that's coming from a dead league. Let's be real. Ziyech won't come. Let's stop dreaming and look at realistic options, says Omar. I think we've got a chance. I'll be honest. I do genuinely think we've got a chance to sign him. It depends. It depends who else comes in for him. If nobody else comes in for him and we're the only club in for him, then he's signing. Let's be real. Arsenal are bigger in terms of exposure, in terms of the league. It's debatable whether we're bigger in terms of size of football club, because Ajax are a massive football club. But, you know, if we come in for him, then you never know. You never know. Who would have thought we would have got Aubameyang 18 months ago? Good evening from Australia. Thank you, Elsan. Thank you. Good evening to everyone. 500 people nearly watching live. Put a like on the video. That gets the content out there. Also a reminder as well, when I get to 20,000 subscribers, which ain't far away now. It's not far away. So thank you to over 17,000 people that have subscribed already. I will be starting a podcast. It'll be a pre-recorded sit-down podcast. Already got about 5 or 6, maybe even 7 people lined up for that already. It won't be 2 or 3 on 1. It'll be a 1-on-1. Sorry, my nose keeps running, so bear with me. Like I said, I've got a stinking cold, man. But it will be a sit-down podcast, 1-on-1, face-to-face, and it's going to be something slightly different to any football-related podcast. Let's just say that. I'm not going to give too much away because I don't want the idea out there for somebody to bang nick it straight away. So yeah, the way I'm going to do it is very different to how any football podcast is done. So I hope you're all going to enjoy it. Subscribe if you're new. Let's get it done as quick as we can, get to 20k, and then we start the podcast. Listen, let's get real. We aren't going to sign anybody. When does the season ticket go on sale? The same shitty gossip. No one wants to come to Arsenal, says Mark Jacob. Funny enough, the season tickets are already on sale, mate. They've already been renewed. I've got mine sorted for next season. And I do think we are going to sign players. But listen, it is Arsenal all over. And, you know, last season we signed players very quickly. We had to, because a new manager came in. The previous manager, after 2 decades, had gone. And we had to hit the ground running and sign players very, very quickly. But this summer, obviously, with the kit deal kicking in, it's kind of difficult to go and sign somebody quickly, because Adidas, like I said, they may have put a clause in that contract that says, soon as the season's done, any player that signs in that transfer window has to wear the Adidas deal, the Adidas kit, sorry. So, you know, Arsenal may have got a deal done, may have got 2 or 3 deals done, but they don't want to unveil them yet because they can't, because of the clause with Adidas. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know what the clause is. I don't even know if there is a clause, but it would make sense for Adidas to do something like that. They're handing over a hell of a lot of money over the next 5 years. So it would be stupid of them not to put some sort of clause in there. But I don't know. I don't know, mate. Ziyech is an Arsenal player, says Yahi Muhammad Ali. He ain't yet, mate, but but I hope he is. Chizzy Kizzy, thank you for that, my friend. Appreciate it. What rating would you give a Prime Zidane on FIFA? Prime Zidane on FIFA? I'd give him a 99. That kid is a baller, bruv. Ozil out or Ozil in, says Kieran. Out all day long. Should be the first one out, in my opinion. Clear up the wage bill, man. West Ham just signed Pablo Fornells, and we're linked with even Perisic. Do you know what? I see that. I see West Ham tweet it out. That's a great signing for them. Let's be real. He is a fantastic player. So that's a good a good pull for them. But this just goes to show, you know, that guy would walk into Arsenal's first team. He'd walk into Man United's first team, and West Ham have signed him. So nothing is impossible. You know, Ziyech could come to Arsenal. You know, Perisic, not for me. I don't want him. Let him go to United. They were linked with him before we ever were, so let him go there. Would you keep Ozil if it was the only way Ziyech will join us, says Shahul Hamid? No, I wouldn't. Get rid of Ozil. End of. I'm not going to sit here and go on a mad rant about him, but just get rid. Not good enough anymore, man. Not good enough. VP, cheers for that, mate. Thank you. I missed your comment, by the way. So apologies for that. So yeah, there we go. Would you take Kessie or Bielik? Says Tashi. Do you know what? I've seen this Bielik is linked with moves here, there, and everywhere. Get rid of him, man. What has the guy ever done to warrant being so highly rated? I don't get it. I genuinely don't. Kessie, I'm not convinced. I think he's a half decent player, but when we played AC Milan, we tore him a new one. The guy was a headless chicken. So I don't know. Like I said, this league's the big boy league. It's the Premier League. You know, there's no passengers can be had in this league, which is why I'd get rid of the likes of Ozil, Xhaka, Mustafi, players like that. But is Kessie the answer? I don't think he is, man. I genuinely don't. Could Pep win us the league in 3 or 4 seasons? Bruv, trust me, Pep could have been our manager 3 or 4 seasons ago, but a certain previous manager decided to be greedy and stay on for another 10 million a year, mate. Now Pep's winning titles and trebles at Man City. So yeah, he probably could, mate. Bovo says, don't think Carrasco or Fraser will be signed if Emery is planning to buy Martinelli and keeping Iwobi. I don't know, man. Listen, Iwobi, like I said, this is a big season. This is his biggest season ever. If he don't produce this season, get rid of him. Martinelli, still a young kid, man. So I don't think that'll stop us going and signing a Fraser or a Carrasco. I don't see Carrasco coming. I genuinely don't see him coming. I think that he will end up at PSG. I've said it for weeks, or Bayern Munich, somewhere like that. In your opinion, who will do the best business this summer? Says Majid. Jesus, try saying that when I've had a few beers. Not trying to mug you off or anything, mate. But yeah, it's not easy to pronounce. In the Premier League, I think probably Man United. I think that they're going to go all in this summer. I think they're going to go and do the best business. Chelsea are obviously transfer banned. Tottenham, I'm not so sure about them. We need an overhaul. But it could be us. Who knows? Listen, at the end of the day, we need to go out and buy 5, 6, 7 players. And we need to get rid of maybe another 4 more. Obviously, 4 are leaving. We need another 4 more out, at least, starting with Mesut Ozil. Xhaka, Mustafi, Mickey, get rid of all 4 of them. Kolasinac, El Neni. You know, there's 5, 6 straight away. Monreal. You know, I could go through half a squad. Stephen, thanks, mate. Appreciate your donation. Do you rate Emery as a manager? If not, who else? I do rate him. I do. But again, he has got a big season. He's got a big transfer window coming up. And if he don't get what he wants and he's not fully happy, he should quit the job. Because at the end of the day, you know, we could put anybody in that job. If they ain't going to get what they require to go and compete for top 4, which is our stepping stone, we need to compete for top 4. Then after that, next season, get in the top 4 again. Then after that, kick on and go for a title. But if he don't get what he requires this summer, he should walk. I don't think that Allegri is the answer. I think he's going to end up at Chelsea. I think Sarri's going to Juve now. So I think that Allegri will be the Chelsea manager soon enough. But I don't know whether that's any good or not, to be honest with you. Listen, he had one of the best squads in Europe and flopped in Europe yet again. What is your opinion on Butland as number 2, says Luke Kelly. I rate Butland. Whether he's worth the money they're saying, I'm not so sure. But I think he's a decent goalkeeper. I would have had him as #1, if I'm being completely honest, before Leno rocked up. So, yeah, I rate him, man. Rate him. Lee, I have a feeling we're going to lose our first game to Newcastle and everyone will start pointing towards Emery, says Savan. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, Newcastle's not an easy game. It's not an easy game. I was there last season, up in the clouds, 26 flights of stairs, and big up my guy Russ as well. I know Russ watches my streams and my videos. He waited for me, man. He had my ticket. And he waited for me, and I literally made it just as the whistle blew for kickoff. So, yeah, man, it was not an easy trip to get to Newcastle, that's for sure. And I will not be doing it this time round. It's far too long. Sarah Houghton says, "Would you rather see Arsenal versus Liverpool Champions League final?" I'd love Arsenal in a Champions League final, but I don't think we're getting there anytime soon. We might not even get there during my lifetime. Swap Granit Xhaka for John Joe Shelvey. Hey, listen, John Joe Shelvey is probably a better player than Granit Xhaka without sounding like a prick. He probably is a better player. So, yeah, give him to Newcastle and we'll take Shelvey. Jonathan Tart or Saliba, says Beluja, the Daydreamer. Jonathan Tah, man. The Saliba, I don't know nothing about him, really. Do you think Granit Xhaka will stay, says Paul Myris? Probably, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I think he probably will. But he shouldn't. Let's be real. He should be out of here. He should be gone. Not good enough. Not going to take us next level. In fact, he's taken us down a level since he's got here. We were a Champions League team when he rocked up, and now we're a Europa League team. So get rid. Get rid. Why haven't we sold anyone yet, says MSN25. Great question. Maybe nobody wants to buy our players because they're absolute garbage. But also maybe kit deals are kicking in at other clubs. Maybe the fact that maybe we're trying to sign players before we release players. I don't know. But these are all the things you've got to think about, to be honest with you. Do you live walking distance to the Emirates? No, mate. I live about 45 miles away. About 45 miles away. About an hour drive. Would you take Pogba over Ozil? Yes, I would, says Bato the Krypton. But I don't think Pogba's all that, if I'm being honest. They've both got a similar sort of mentality where they both just turn up when they feel like it. But when they do turn up, they're great. But they just don't turn up often enough. And that is the frustration with Ozil. If he turned up and played like he did against Leicester and how he did against Napoli at home, then we've got a top draw player. But he does it twice a season, mate. We need to make a signing early, says Ibrahim. Yeah, well, we need to make one pretty quick. As soon as that kit gets launched, mate, we need to unearth a couple of gems. Why are we not linked to Lewis Dunk yet? Is exactly his centre-back we need, says Omar. I agree. Top draw centre-back, man. Top draw centre-back. But I don't know. I don't know, man. What was said about Ziyech? Right, for the 550 people nearly that are watching, put a like on the video if you don't mind. Even Perisic, just to do a quick rewind. Even Perisic, we're going to make an approach for him, apparently. I don't think we should go anywhere near the guy. Ziyech has said that he'd love to play for Arsenal. We play great attacking football. That was said on a Sky Sports podcast through Marcel van der Kraan. Apparently, that is Ziyech's thinking. He loves Arsenal, the way we play, etc., etc. So we should be going for him. But apparently, we're going to make a bid and an approach for Perisic, which is a massive, massive mistake. So yeah, the 7th Orisha, thanks for your donation, buddy. We tend to blame our defenders, but I think our main priority should be shopping for proper wingers, midfielders, playmaker, DM, sell Xhaka before thinking about defence. Too many holes in the middle. Do you know what? You've made a fantastic point there, mate. Yeah, right. It doesn't matter what defenders we have. We could have the best centre-back pairing in the world. Right? If you've got a midfield that just allow players to walk straight through you and you're not tracking runners. Right, I'll give you an example, right? Morata's goal, I think it was, against Chelsea away last season. We were all over them. We're pressing them high. We're all over them. We're containing them. We're doing well. It's comfortable. And then bang, one long ball over the top. Our midfield have sucked in. Morata is one-on-one with Mustafi. We all know how that's going to end up. Let's be real. And as soon as he takes a shot, the chances are, even a player of his little quality compared to other strikers, it's going to end up in the back of the net. So I don't know. I just think you've got a great point. The midfield, and I've said it for a while, to be honest with you, the midfield is a bigger issue than the centre-back pairing, because Mustafi is not as bad as we all make him out to be. But when you've got Granit Xhaka, Mesut Ozil, Iwobi and Mkhitaryan as a midfield, yeah, forget Torreira. That is the only genuine proper midfielder we have. But when you've got them others around him, none of them want to do the donkey work. None of them are any good going backwards off the ball. They're not good enough sniffing danger. They want to do the fancy Dan stuff, let's go forward and do the flare passing and all that crap. Yeah, how about do the basics right? But I don't know. I think you've got a great point, mate. I think the midfield defensive, I think we need to go and buy somebody to sit next to Torreira, even if it's the same type of player. And then Didi and Idrissa Gueye. I know he's getting on a bit now. I know he's 30, but listen, that guy could do a job for the next 4 years. Yeah, and he's up there with Kante in terms of statistics. So why not go and buy another player? Yes, you've got two players that are very similar, but it instantly makes us better as a defensive unit, which allows your attacking players to go and do what they require to do going forward to score the goals. But when you've got Granit Xhaka there that can't kick a ball with his right foot and can't sniff danger and don't track runners, then you've got the likes of Mesut Ozil strolling around like the whole world owes him something. It's just like, really? No wonder we get steamrolled by teams every season. Sergio, thanks for your donation, buddy. Lee, good morning. Just woke up. Why are players turning us down because of no Champions League football? Half wouldn't win it and most have never played in it and have no experience. That's a good point as well. Great questions, man. Great questions. And thanks for your donation, like I said. I think that, the holy grail to a footballer is getting that big payday. And if you're a Champions League team, they know that you can get that big payday. They can go there and get the big money. Whereas with Arsenal and a Europa League team, then, you tend to get less wages. So I think that, the bonuses for getting out the group stage, the bonuses for signing on, the bonuses for being in the Champions League, you get a bigger wage packet. It all bodes well for a footballer, whether they've played in it or not, and whether they win it or not. But if they do go on and win it, obviously the bonuses go up and up and up the further you go through the competition. So I don't know. I kind of agree with what you're saying, but at the same time, it's all about the money, mate. It's all about the money. And, a lot of these players, it's a short career for them. So I get why they want to get the most amount of money out of it. And listen, I don't begrudge them that. At the end of the day, they've made it to become a professional footballer. They've gone through blood, sweat, tears, beg, stealing and borrowing. Their families have gone through poverty, some of them, to pay for football boots. So why wouldn't they want to try and go and get the big salary? So I don't begrudge them that. You can only win it once. Like one team can win it a season, Some players are fortunate enough to get to a final. Some players are fortunate enough to win it multiple times, like Ronaldo, like Messi, all the Barcelona and Madrid players. But other players, it's a once in a lifetime to get to a final, let alone win it. So, I get why they want to sign for a Champions League team, but it's all about the money. Usman AM Bello, thank you for your donation, my friend. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Right, I'm going to do 5 more minutes worth of questions. I'm going to wrap this up and then I'm going to be back at 9 o'clock doing another stream. And hopefully my cold will not be so bad because I'm going to be sipping on some Lemsip instead of sipping on the Stella Artois. Maybe Stella Artois should come and sign me up on a little sponsorship deal. I should have shares in this company, I swear. Right, let's get rid of these spammers in the chat. Jesus Christ, there's enough of them as well, isn't there? Bloody hell. Where do these people get the time from, I swear? It's like you've got nothing better to do than come and sit and spam my comment section with some whatever language that is. Sergio, thank you for your donation. We need to get Rio Ferdinand as a defensive coach. Do you know what? We could do a lot worse, but I'd rather go and get Tony Adams, if I'm being completely honest. I think that Man United are missing a trick by not going and getting him. Listen, that guy was one of the best centre-backs in history. So why wouldn't they want to go and get him? And we could do a lot worse than going and getting him. So, yeah, why not? Why not go and get him, man? I don't think we will, but why not get him? Why not get him, man? Would you like Arsenal continue in a 3-4-1-2 with a new number 10 or a 4-5-1 with Lacazette as the centre forward, just like France do with Griezmann? Call your podcast Gunley. Thank you, Usman. Appreciate your donation as well, mate. I think we should go with a 4-2-3-1, and I think that we should put somebody like Ndidi next to Torreira. Go and buy a proper centre back. Stick a proper centre back next to Holding or Socrates, somebody like that, and you know, then you've got the base. You've got the four at the back. You've then got the two in front of that as the holders. Whether they're rigid or not is irrelevant. They can defend. That's the main thing. And then you've got your attacking three. Then you have the centre forward of Lacazette. So yeah, I think a 4-3-1-2. But then in certain games you can switch it up to a 3-4-1-2 and play Aubameyang and Laka. Other games you could go 4-2-2-2, 3-4-3, whatever you want to do, 4-3-3. It depends on the opponents as well, because at the end of the day, you can't just set up the same formation every game anymore. It's not like when we had the Invincibles and we knew that the team would go out there and it was like, yeah, there's our 11, now fucking beat us. You know, you can't really do that anymore. You know, these managers, these coaches, these players, they're all a little bit cuter now. They're all a little bit, you know, more clued up, you know, and the smallest little margin can make the difference. So I think you have a good point in terms of the formations. And I think that we should add 2 or 3 formations into our season. 4-2-4, says Martinez Michael. See, that's another one. 4-2-4. When you lose the ball, you go back to a 4-5-1. Drop 3 of them straight back in. Lee's Stellar Podcast says Chi Gaming. Told you I should be sponsored by Stella Artois. Right, let's do 3 more questions and get myself out of here. How many beers have you had? That is my second beer. I've not been in all that long. Second beer. Are you watching Copa America? If so, who do you want to win it? No, I don't watch it, Omar. Don't watch it, to be honest. 8-1-1 formation, sort out the defence, says Harry Weller. The Let's Be Real podcast, says Georgie. Right, one more question and I'm going to wrap this up. I will be back at 9 o'clock. So stick the notification bell on. Subscribe if you are new. 20K, the podcast will be released. Release the podcast. So yeah, get it up to 20K. I will drop a podcast not long after I hit 20K. Like I said, I've already got about 5 to 7 people. I've got 5 that are confirmed. 2 are coming back to me. So yeah, it's all going well, man. It's going to be a sit-down face-to-face podcast, pre-recorded, that will be uploaded. Keep your names coming in for that for the rest of this week. I've already got 1 name. I need to get another name. I'm then going to stick it out to a public vote, a public poll on YouTube. So that'll be up to you guys to pick the name of the podcast. But I've already got 1 of the names. So I just need 1 more name. So keep your names coming in. I am reading them all, don't worry. Please put a like on the video as well. Over 500 people watching live at one stage as well. Not even 200 likes. It gets the channel noticed. It builds it to 20k quicker. One more question. How much is one double glazed window? That depends what company you go with, but about 700 quid, mate. That's not the question I'm going to answer though. Have you? I have watched all of your live streams till now and won't miss in the future as well. Thank you, Tashi. Appreciate that. Lee, tell me the name of the podcast that you have been given already. No secret, man. But you know what? You guys will like it. I think you'll like it. Pod Bang. Pod Bang, says Majib Ahmed. Right, one more question. Let's ask a proper question. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you to everybody. 500 odd people. Enjoy your evening. I'll be back at 9, like I said. So stick the notification bell on. Subscribe if you're new. Stick a like on the video. And is Bielik better than Granit Xhaka? Says Adorn Kabalu. Sorry, bruv, I butchered your name. Sorry, mate. No, he's not, and I'd get rid of him. Thank you to everyone who watched live. Thanks to all the comments. Thanks to everyone who donated. I genuinely appreciate that, and it does go towards equipment. I will be getting a camera. These cameras ain't cheap, man. Seriously, some of this stuff costs a fortune. So I will be getting a camera soon to record the podcast. Lights, camera, action, all that palaver. I'll be getting a green screen as well in the future as well. I want to do some special effects and stuff like that. And going forward into next season, I've got some big things planned. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm out of here until 9 o'clock. Laters, peeps.